if this just helps one person with their life and keeps them on this planet, or keeps them a little bit happier, then that's my goal. Hello and welcome to episode 1 of the Men's Mental Health Podcast. Now on this podcast I want to share my story, I want to open up, I want to become vulnerable, I want to talk about my struggles, because you look at other people online and everything looks fine and you think to yourself, what is wrong with you? And that was me for a long time. I was thinking, what is the problem with me? Why is nobody else seem like they're going through this? But I think so many people suffer in silence that I really want this podcast to be a way to connect with those people. And also on the way, how I've managed to help myself and get to a stage where I feel a lot happier, yet I still do struggle every day. And I want to go back to 18 years old. I'm 21, almost 22 now. And growing up as a child, I never really seemed to have problems. I know that sounds crazy, but I mean within myself. I'm not talking about externally. But I was always a very happy kid. I had nothing that I was worried about on my mind. The only thing that I'd ever worry about was getting home from school and playing Fortnite and uploading Fortnite videos. Like for a long time I've done YouTube, like 7-8 years now, and it used to be such a thing where I just had no care in the world. I'd come home and just love life, you know, and I still do. But there was a point when I hit 18ish that I just kind of fell into a massive rut. And this was when I think, like, you know, relationships was ending and school was ending, friendships were going a little bit different, because obviously you're becoming an adult now and things become real and you have to start working. And it hit a time that when I was 18 and I was going through a rough period, that I got into the gym. And once I got into the gym, that's when I think the whole self-improvement, self-help stuff really got into my brain, and it's come into my brain for the best way ever. I cannot be more thankful for self-improvement, self-help. But I want to make this video especially as a big message as to what self-improvement, self-help actually is, because I used to believe it was putting on sad music and getting sad all the time. That's what fueled me. And I heard Tony Robbins say it perfectly once, and it's saying, you're fueled by a warrior inside you. There are multiple different personalities that you have each day of your life, you know. You have a warrior, he says, which is your brutal, I will never give up, I'll keep pushing, I will do anything I can, listen to sad music and hate myself. And then you've got a lover, which is that deep down in you, that personality that really does love the world. And then you've got the magician, which is in your head. It's all the skills that you've got in your head that naturally comes to you. You know, what are you naturally good at that you can just trust your magician? And it's talking about sometimes, and this is what I did with self-improvement, you're only driven by one of these personalities when really you need them all to work and become your best self. So if you want to become your best self, you need to be a good lover. You need to be a good warrior. And you need to trust your magician. So it's saying all these personalities will come together. And I was driven by a warrior this entire time when it came to the gym. I'd go in and the only thing that would push me would be the stuff that would make me sad, listening to sad music, talking to myself, saying you're not good enough, you look smaller, you don't look good. Like, you need to keep pushing, it's not good enough, you're never going to be good enough, blah, blah, and that's the warrior inside of you, which just beats you up, you know. And I lost that lover inside, that knowledge, that kid who used to enjoy this and feel good every day and not really have too much of like negative thoughts and felt like they were good enough. And when I heard that, I realised everything that went wrong in my self-improvement journey. And that was the fact that I didn't use my lover and I didn't use my knowledge. And now I look back, my magician, sorry. And now I look back, I wish I could change things, because if it wasn't for my warrior, I probably wouldn't be in a good shape that I am in, and I wouldn't feel as happy as I do. Like, I feel like I built my physique quite nicely over the last 3 years, but at the same time, I lost a lot of myself during that time. And it was one of the darkest periods I've been through. You know, I was going through a really dark stage. You know, I felt like I was doing nothing but working and then going to the gym. And like, that can be great. But it gets to a point where when you feel like you've genuinely done nothing but stay in your room and work and then work out and that's it, and eat. I mean, it's a great phase to be in, but it's a phase that I just don't... You need to have maybe for a month or two to really focus in on things. But I think people have got self-improvement completely wrong, and I think people need to think of self-improvement as going and talking to your friends and socialising, building up your social skills. Self-improvement is finding that balance in your life. It's trying new things but enjoying new things. You know, I don't think self-improvement should come at the sacrifice of you. You know, I completely lost myself. Like, I became somebody who I just wasn't proud of. And this is again why I'm 500 days plus into quitting drinking. Because I realised I completely lost myself. I would just work hard, go to the gym in the week, and then all I'd look forward to is a weekend. And if there's nothing going on in the week, I'd just be like, cool, weekend, yay, let's drink, everything is great. Like, let's use Friday and Saturday to go out drinking. And forget about all my problems. And realise, yes, it got rid of them for a day or two, but it would hurt even more in the week. And I was just thinking, am I really sacrificing 5 days of feeling amazing just for an evening of feeling cool where I can forget about problems and use drink as a way of, as an excuse really, of feeling crap, you know, forgetting my problems. And I want to give you guys some advice. If I could talk to my younger self, I'd say don't use those quick highs in terms of alcohol. I never did drugs, thankfully, but never use the alcohol as a way of hiding your scars, you know? Like, because the problem is, if you don't face them head on, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And I found that with me. Like, I was at a really low stage where I was just going out. And then I remember even it was Mother's Day and I was going out and I was just like, it was like 10 a.m. I was so hungover, but I had to be there for Mother's Day. And I was thinking, like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? You know, a way that I've managed to really, really improve now is if I really have a bad day, I try and think to myself, look, let yourself feel like this. Let yourself. Don't turn to anything. Don't turn to a quick fix. Let yourself feel a certain way. Let yourself feel sad all day. If you don't want to do nothing, don't do nothing. Don't make yourself do something just for the sake of thinking you'll feel better. You've got to let yourself feel good. And this really helps me. I wish I knew this, especially when I was going through hard times. Just got to sit with yourself. Sit and think. Even if, I know it sounds bad, but even if you want to spend a day scrolling or watching YouTube and rutting, that's okay. But the next day you need to think to yourself, I'm going to get up, tomorrow is a new opportunity, and I'm going to pull myself up and I'm going to try and make this better. I'm going to try and make this better. And it's really hard because I used to think, you know, I can easily do this. But there are genuinely days where I felt like absolutely shite, doing nothing. You genuinely feel like doing absolutely nothing with your life. Like sitting there in a rut every day, and it's really difficult to get up. But if you just, I think, let yourself feel like that for a certain period of time, it will get to a point where enough will be enough and you go, right, I cannot physically do this anymore. There's two routes I can take. I can keep doing this forever, or I can make a change right now. It's choose your hard. You either find what seems like the easy route now, but it's the hard route in the future, which is just sitting there and doing nothing, or there's getting yourself up and trying to change. And it's hard. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, is changing from really struggling. I mean, I didn't upload on YouTube for 2 years. I've been doing this for like 8 years now, and it gets really, really tough when you've done this for 8 years. You know, for anyone who's out there trying to pursue their passion, I want you guys to know that I keep going, because I've been doing this for 8 years and I've learnt a lot on the way, a load on the way. I've learnt what I like, what I don't like. I've found my passion within the last year or two. And I've really, really struggled to make it work. I'm not going to lie. I'll be completely honest. Like, if we were opening up, I've really struggled to make it work. I feel like I've got the skills. I really feel like I've got what it takes. And I'm pursuing this. This year, last year, I've learned way more what discipline is more than anything. And this is where it comes to, if I could talk to myself again, my younger self, I'd say go to the gym. Go to the gym and build up that discipline, because I cannot tell you how much that's impacted every part of my life. I used to go to the gym because I used to physically think, oh, it make me look better. But now I think, well, the thing that I realised longevity is the mental push. How much better it's made me feel mentally. I genuinely think the gym has saved me in a lot of ways. Like, it's made me such a better person. It's made me more confident. It's made me happier. And this is why I think when it comes to gym, it's always good to have a long-term outlook on things, you know. It's not good to have an unhealthy outlook, to think I'm going to listen to this sad music because this is going to make me feel bad, and then I'm going to push myself more, you know. In life, I've learned from the 21 years that I've been on this planet, which isn't long. I've still got so much learning to do, man. But I'm just trying to talk as if I'm giving advice to my younger self, talking to my younger self. And I'd say, listen to the good music and realize and understand and try and find what makes you you. Try and find the good habits that make you your better self. Like when you look back at a period of time where you worked really hard, think, what did I do that made me work so hard? Rather than thinking of all the bad things. Rather than thinking, oh, this is bad for me, caffeine's bad for me. Think, what made me a good person? Did I get better sleep? Did I go to the gym more? Was I scrolling on social media less? And you can craft your good person. You can look at all your good habits. Like recently, it's so funny. I used to listen to podcasts all the time, and I love podcasts. But I realised that was actually bringing me down more, because I always listened to these self-gurus that made you feel like you're doing crap. And after I stopped listening to it, I realised my life got better. And I used to think that helped me. And a lot of people say that helps you. And it does to a certain extent. You've got to pick and choose what you like. But it's the same with books. I realised that I used to kind of focus on the stuff that bring you down, make you feel a warrior. And I realised the perspective on life, the psychology of life is actually what made me enjoy reading more. And I think crafting that good person in you, crafting like what makes you you and finding what makes you you is like a cheat code to life, you know? I've been going through lately quite a lot in terms of, I don't know, through my self-improvement journey, I've been going through a lot. First of all is the gym and kind of like validatility, is that a name? Like feeling valid in the world and feeling confident and stuff. Now it's the struggle of going through my 20s. You know, I really want to be open about this and say, like, you aren't alone if you don't have it figured out. And I heard somebody say yesterday, Scott Galloway, he said, you're exactly where you need to be if you haven't got it all figured out in your 20s and you're stuck and you're like, what the hell do I do? And it made me feel better because especially with social media, man, there's such a pressure of feeling as if you need to have it all figured out by a certain age, or you need to be a millionaire by 21. And it's tough because when I was a kid and doing the YouTube stuff, I'd always think by 21 I'm gonna have cars, I'm gonna have like houses, like I'm gonna be fucking rich. And then you realize like that's just not reality. Like, it's nice to have these dreams, but you've got to set more realistic goals. And I'm a little bit disappointed that wasn't the outcome, I guess you could say. But yet, it's not the outcome yet. Again, imagine achieving all these goals that you've wanted to achieve in your life at 21, and then you're stuck like, what the hell do I want to do in my life? And I've been so stuck, man. Like, again, we're going to be completely honest, my passion's always been this. And the fact I haven't turned it into a reality yet, it hurts. Like, every day it's really difficult. I've written to myself, I'm going to really grind until 2025. The end of 2025, I'm going to give everything I've got. And if things haven't worked out 2025, I'm going to reconsider. Not this, like I'm still going to do this as a hobby, but I'm going to reconsider what I want to do. And maybe this just isn't for me. But I like to think it is for me. And this is why I want to just help as many people as I can. Because again, I don't actually care about the monetary goal, which I used to think was such a push. Don't get me wrong, it has a benefit. The only reason it would be a benefit was if I can do this full time and have a good life. Of course I want a good life. And being able to help people and earn money on the side, like, bro, it would be the best thing ever. Like, that would be the best thing ever. We're talking about opening up. Like, that is really what I would want to do with my life. But then this is also a hobby. You know, I don't give a shit about the money, so I've been doing it for 8 years. And I really think you need to find something that does keep you going for that long. Because, again, feeling lost in your 20s, you're thinking, do I follow my passion? Do I follow what could make me more money? And will that make me passionate in the future? And I've been thinking, like, is this more of a hobby that I just don't care about the money, that I just keep doing it? Like, I don't earn a load of money from doing this, but I do it because I just think I want to be something. I want to help people. I want to impact people. And you might think this as well, with like your art or your creativity or whatever you've got in your life. And it's really something special. If you've got that thing, it's really something special. And if you don't, see it as a benefit, bro, and a plus. Like, think you've got that you get the opportunity to find that in the future. And also, you've got to think, you know, there's nothing like, at that point, you just follow the money, and I think you'll become passionate about it. Think, like, what makes me happy? Like, you've got to think to yourself, really, if you really want to follow your passion, and again, I don't know the answer to this, I'm just sharing my perspective. You've got to think, what do I do that I could do and not earn money for, that I could just do for fun because it's fun, you know? That could earn me a lot of money in the future. Like, I'm not talking about going and, you know, you enjoy masturbating, for example. Like, come on. I'm talking about, like, you see a lot of YouTubers earning a lot of money. There is a lot of potential with this. But if you're willing to put in that work, like I feel like I've been and am, and grind and not earn money for a while, like, I genuinely think it will come to you guys. But yeah, feeling lost in your 20s is really tough. Like, I work a job as well as doing this, and I like my job. I'm very lucky that I found something I enjoy, but again, it's hard not to feel lost all the time. Where am I going from here? What am I doing? Is this really what I want to do for my whole life? How do I progress? You've got all these goals, yet it feels like it's such a marathon, you don't know where to start. And I try and start by putting just one step forward. One step forward. And if I can advise you guys to do that today, like, put one step forward. And I think it's hard because I'm the same when it comes to, I worry about the future so much that I forget to live in the present, you know? Like, I'm worried so much about providing a good life and being a good person and having this life that I dream of, you know, this nice house, a nice family, and you worry that so much in your head that you forget to do the things you actually realise you need to do because you're thinking about the future steps, you know? Like, for example, all we can do is live for today. That is all we can do. We can't live for tomorrow. We can't control what happens in the future unless we control today. So there's me thinking I'm sat worried about providing a good life whilst being in the present, realising that I can do something about it right now. Like, you can do something about your life right now. Think to yourself, what can I do when I shut this computer that takes 2 minutes that could help hopefully make my tomorrow better? And this again comes from the gym. Going to the gym makes tomorrow a little bit better. You suffer for 1 hour of the day, but your 24 hours, the rest of your life feels so much better. And it's the same with, I don't know, if you want to be a content creator, if you want to be an artist, go and paint that painting today. Because you don't know where that's going to go, you know? That could be a world famous painting. The next video you upload could be the next viral hit that creates that dream life. Because if you keep creating and creating and creating something or working towards your passion, one day, luck is going to come your way and you are going to be hit with that opportunity. And I feel like I've been blessed with that in so many ways, but also I've still got so much of that to come. If someone sees you putting in this work, then it's going to come to you, you know? I like to think of it as, try not to think of it so much as results based. Oh, this video did this, it did crap. Think of it as, I'm building up a catalogue of videos, I'm building up a portfolio worth of videos. If nobody sees my shit, who gives a damn? Because somebody's going to come along one day and see my stuff and think, I want this guy. I want to hire this guy. Or this guy's cool. I want to subscribe to this guy. You could have 1,000 views on your video, and somebody in that 1,000 views could be somebody who's looking for somebody to create incredible content for a new movie they're making, and that new movie could be the biggest movie of the century. You don't know who is watching your shit. You genuinely have no idea who is behind that lens watching your stuff, whether it got 300 views or not. So keep posting, thinking, this next person that's watching my content could be the person that leads me to have a successful life. You just have no idea who is behind that camera, and that excites me so damn much. You've got to think about it that way rather than thinking about reaching 100,000 people that might not care about your shit. And that's why I always say to people, create the best work. Just create the best work you possibly can. And again, it gets no views, it's okay. Somebody could see it one day. I once saw this YouTube video about this guy who created a video on YouTube, obviously. And because of that one video, his storytelling, his movie making was so good that he became a director for Hollywood. And I just think that's so cool. I think it's called like Everything Except Anything. Or something like that. Some weird thing like that. And it's absolutely incredible that it could get no views, and that's okay. But somebody one day could watch your stuff and be like, wow, this is insane. You know, I've got all these videos built up that I can go to my employer and say, look, I've done all these videos. Like, I've got experience, I've got these skills. And that's how you've got to kind of think about it. Or you've got to think about, right, today, what is my today's task? What is the thing that's going to get me out of bed today that I've got to do, that when I get done, I'm going to feel better because tomorrow is going to be a bit easier, or the future is going to be a bit easier because I've done this today. What is that for you? You know, is that working an extra hour at work to hopefully get that promotion? Is that, it could be something stupid, going for a walk, you know, in the morning like this, and getting yourself outside because you feel better. It could be anything. How far are we? 25 minutes in, wow. Genuinely, it could be anything. Think that whatever makes you feel like you're going to be a better person tomorrow, go and do it. If that's learning a language, it doesn't have to be monetary. If that's helping people, do something good for somebody that's going to make somebody think, wow, he's a good person. And do you know what? No, don't scrap that. Do something that nobody's going to realise that it's you, but you do it out of goodwill, and don't tell anyone about it. Go and, it doesn't have to be some monetary goal. Go and give back to somebody by giving them your time, and don't accept anything in return. Go and donate to a charity, and just don't tell anyone about it, you know? Like, do these little things every day that can make you a good person. You know, I really think monetary stuff comes from when you follow your heart, and it might take a bit of time, but I really genuinely think it comes. And again, I can't speak on this because I'm not there yet, but for anyone pushing and trying to pursue stuff and really struggling to make something of themselves, I think it's going to come. Like, it's great that we've got this gift, and it's good to try and keep on learning and keep doing your stuff and solidify your career and try and find what you really do enjoy. But I genuinely think it's gonna come. Like, if you have a good heart and do it for the right things, I really think people are gonna see that, and people are gonna buy into your stuff. You know, I can't wait for the future if this really does hold on, this podcast, like, to be able to speak to people, big celebrities, and like that would fill me with so much joy. Speak to celebrities and talk about their mental health and say, talk to me about your story. What has got you here? How have you got here? What have you done? What have you struggled with? Because these people are humans as well. Celebrities that you look up to are struggling with things right now that you don't even realise. Like, there's a different type of struggle celebrities have. Yes, it might not be the monetary ones, but they struggle with stuff, man. They're all humans. And sometimes we disconnect the fact that we are humans and they are humans too. Like, we're the same people. Like, have you ever got that thing where you see a celebrity in real life and you go, huh, that is just the human. They are just a person with a big following and with a lot of people liking them. That's all they are. They have problems, like, you know, they go to the toilet every day. That sounds horrible, but it's, you don't expect them to for some reason, because they're a celebrity, but they struggle with things. And it's different problems. It's problems, you know, sometimes even worse. They have stalkers, they can't go anywhere, and we've got all this freedom, and they don't. It's different problems, and don't get me wrong, being in this situation is amazing, but I think just being grateful for where you are and what you've got is really important to getting the next thing. Like, I really don't think you can be... I think you need to have the right mindset in order to get the next big goal that you want. Like, I think if you genuinely have the mindset of, I just want to do this for the wrong reasons, I just don't think it's going to happen for you guys. You know, like, if you really have a true heart and you're really doing it for the reasons why you want to do it, and you're not doing it to validate somebody or look better. Like at the gym, you start it off to look good, and then you realise, you know what, this is more of a benefit for me. I do this for myself. This isn't about anyone else doing this life, you know. I realised, like, when it came to making content, no one cares about me, realistically. Like, everybody's so focused on their life, they just want to know how you can help them. You know, and that's such a validating feeling in a way. It's a bit of a sad feeling, but it's a validating feeling in the fact that you could make a fool of yourself tomorrow, and realistically, people might go, huh, next day, who gives a shit? It's something I'm very good at, and I think I could pass on to you guys, is just don't be ashamed to fail and publicly fail. And, you know, you've got to be cringy before you're a genius, and when you're a genius, no one's going to think you're damn cringy. No one. How many people get laughed at for trying all these things before celebrities get big? You know, all these celebrities try singing, all these celebrities try inventing something, business people try and try businesses that fail. Bro, they're trying something. They're trying to make something out of their life, and I want you guys to think about doing the same if you're not already. Because waking up with such purpose is the most powerful thing in the world. I genuinely think purpose drives your life. We talk about wanting to retire and wanting all these monetary goals, and that's great, but I think people talk about after a 2-week holiday, you're kind of excited to get back to work. And I'm not talking about work as in your 9 to 5, because sometimes that might not be exactly what you want, but I'm talking about your dream. Like, how excited are you to get up knowing, right, I need to do this today. And it doesn't matter if it's a weekend, but you've just got that passion to do something on a Saturday, and you think, do you know what? I love this. I'm going to go and make a video just because I love this. I'm going to go out today on an evening after a hard day of work, and I'm going to use my passion as a way of expressing myself. And I think that's so exciting. If you've got that, or if you haven't got that just yet, you're going to find it. But yeah, I think this is a good place to end. It's the first episode of the Men's Mental Health Podcast, or Big Men's Mental Health Guide. I'm not exactly sure what this is going to be, but I really hope this resonates with you guys. I really want you guys to come back for the next episode. I really want to talk to you guys. I really want to make this a thing. I'd love to make this a thing and talk to you guys and be vulnerable, and hopefully you guys can too. And I send your problems in and we can talk about them. But if this has just helped one person, then I've done my task. I've done my life's task. I'm happy, you know. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, don't suffer in silence. Talk to people. And try and smile every now and then. Because life is hard. But life is all about the life that you focus on. And if you try and smile and see the good in things, and there is a lot of good in this world, then I think you're going to have a much happier life. I think that's what life's all about, perspective. Being grateful for where we are now and what we've got, even if we haven't got the things that we want yet. Being grateful for being able to run outside and see the world and again, have food in the fridge and drink water if we're thirsty from a tap and have a hot shower. There's a lot of things that we have that we forget that we have, that we should realise sooner or later that we have it pretty well, even if we haven't got exactly what we want in our life yet. We're doing good. You're doing good. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you made it this far, thank you so much. Genuinely. And I really hope this has helped a couple people. Wow, this has got deep, man. Damn! Okay, right, let's end it there. Thank you guys. Seriously, thank you. Oh my, why am I saying thank you? Right, end it here. Jesus.